the East Abbey detached market has shifted from a seller's market to a balanced market. Sales are down and the number of new listings is increasing. Today I'm going to walk you through the latest stats for your East Abbotsford detached market so you have clarity on where the market stands. Stick around till the very end because I'm going to give you my personal prediction where I think the East Abbotsford detached market is headed this spring. Welcome to my channel. If you find content like this helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe button so we can keep spreading the good work we're doing to other homeowners in East Abbey. If you want to book a meeting with my team and I, all you have to do is click the first link in the description below. Let's start here. In January, the East Abbotsford detached market entered a balanced market with a sales to active ratio of 17.4. This went down from the sales to active ratio of 30.6% that we saw in December, which is a seller's market, and in November the East Abbey detached market also represented a seller's market. Moving to months of inventory, right now the East Abbey detached market is sitting at 3 months of inventory, and in December this was the same number. So what this means right now is 1 out of 3 homes that are listed are selling and 2 out of 3 are not selling. Let's move on to sales. So in January, there was 15 sales for East Abbey detached homes, and that's down from the 26 we saw in December. That's a decline of sales of 42% in 1 month. And usually the East Abbey detached market averages anywhere between 25 to 30 sales per month. And if you look at this right here, this is one of the lowest numbers of sales since February of 2023. In December, we saw 20 new listings, and in January, we saw the number of new listings increase to 39, and this number is expected to increase as we head into the spring market. Right now, the active number of listings is at 86. Days on market is 41. Listings in East Abbotsford are selling at 96.7% of the original list price. What these stats mean for you are the following. Sales have started at a slower pace in comparison to December, but what that means are buyers are being more selective or they're waiting on the sidelines just to wait and see what happens. When you are comparing the East Abbotsford detached sales from January to December, you'll notice sales are down by 42%. But when you zoom out and compare the East Abbey detached market to the Abbey detached market right now, East Abbey detached home sales are still making up about 51% of the total sales for detached homes. Not only that, but when you look at East Abbey in comparison to any other area of Abbey, Abbotsford West, Central Abbotsford, the Aberdeen area, East Abbotsford has been recording the highest number of sales in comparison to any other area over the last couple of years. Now I'm going to zoom out just for context, and I'm going to show you how the East Abbey detached market compares to the general Abbey detached market. In January, the Abbey detached market entered buyer territory with a sales to active ratio of 10.2%. That was down from the 19.3% that we saw in December, which is balanced territory, and months of inventory sat at 5. So in January, we saw about 29 sales for the general Abbey detached market, and that's down from the 52 that we saw in December, and even down from the 57 that we saw in November. Right now, the average sale for an Abbey detached home is $1,246,000. I don't really pay attention to this number, and the reason why I don't pay attention to this number is because the value of your home or your neighborhood is going to differ from other areas of Abbotsford. Right now, the active number of listings sit at 284, and that's up from the 270 that we saw in December. In December, we saw 49 new listings, and in January, it was around 116. This number is nearly doubled for the number of new listings. Days on market is 33. Here's the key difference between the East Abbey detached market and the general Abbey detached market. The East Abbey detached market remains highly desirable for those folks that are looking to upgrade to buy their first detached home, or even those folks that are relocating from Langley, Surrey, or the Lower Mainland. They're looking at moving to East Abbey because of the location, having great schools close by, and being part of an awesome community that they want to live in and raise their children in. The other thing is when you look at the overall sales, when you compare East Abbey to the general Abbey detached market, you'll notice that the East Abbey detached market made up about approximately 51% of the total sales that happened here in Abbotsford. So as a homeowner that's thinking of selling your home, just remember, if you list your home at market value, you have a very good chance of selling it. Remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I would be suggesting where I think the East Abbotsford detached market is headed this spring. Here it is. What I expect to see as we head into the spring market or the following, and these are predictions based on the patterns that we've already seen for the first month of the year. I expect the number of new listings to increase. If we don't see the number of detached sales in East Abbey increase to 25 to the 30 sales per month that we've seen on average over the last year, I do expect that if some owners have had their homes listed for a long time, they will do a price reduction, and that might push down the sale value of your home in spring versus what you could have sold it for in January or February. The other thing is, I do expect to see the East Abbey detached market staying in balanced territory for a while. If you're thinking about selling your home this spring, this is advice to you. If you list now as opposed to waiting till spring or the fall, you might be facing less competition, but this only matters if you've done the prep ahead of time and are priced at market value. The next thing is the presentation of your home matters. So if buyers like the photos, the floor plan, and the home video tour of your home online, they're more likely to contact their realtor and book a showing. Selling your home is your biggest asset. That's why you want to work with the right team, and you deserve clarity on where the value of your home stands today. If you are wondering what your home is worth in today's market, click the first link in the description below to get a free home evaluation. Let me know your thoughts below in the comment section where you think the East Abbey detached market is headed. I'm Dhindsa, and I'll see you next week.